So it's probably another reason why this movie spoke to me a lot, because it deals with children. They're very, very, very important and dear to me in my life. The maturity thing, I'm still working on that.
There are some in the religious community that would argue that taking up a gun to meet the violence is not the way to do that.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about that?
Well, you know, that's one of the reasons why I did this movie, because it is provocative. It's essentially the Old Testament, an eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, really. What I can tell you is what the facts are, and that whether you agree or disagree, there are thousands of children that are being saved as a result of what he's done, and even thousands more that are being fed because of him. When you look at the area in which this movie took place, there are no rules, really. I can't say that his rules are right or wrong, but I can definitely tell you that there's not a lot of positive things to say about the LRA. They're not doing a lot of positive things out there in terms of children. And I know that Sam is fighting a fight that is almost, it's unbelievable, really. So, but this is why we want people to go and see this film, because it's going to challenge your belief system, and it's going to make people talk and debate, and that's why I think it's an important film. I mean, I also appreciate it because he's a flawed hero. He's not perfect, you know. And oftentimes I think people sometimes feel that they feel like people who make a difference, those are reserved for people who are really great all the time, who are perfect. And what I love about this film is that no one's perfect, you know, and you can still make a difference in this world, regardless of what your past, whatever your sordid past may be, or whatever it is now. You can turn your life around and make a difference in somebody else's life. And that doesn't really answer your question.
Do you think the United States should intervene politically?
Well, you know, listen, they've committed over $9 billion to this effort. You know, I think it's time for them to be a little bit more proactive. You know, the Obama administration signed a referendum last year, I believe, trying to bring Joseph Kony to justice. You know, he's been indicted by the ICC. Also, Bashir is the president. You know, they've committed acts against humanity. Bashir is the only president in the world, in our history, that has not been brought to justice. And, you know, he's a mass murderer. These are serial killers of the worst kind. And I think that's why it's important for this movie to keep the spotlight on Sudan. Right now, as I'm speaking over the course of the next couple of days, the LRA is going into a region and potentially mass slaughtering up to 5,000 or 6,000 people. This is really happening as we speak. So this movie is timely, and it's important, and I do believe there needs to be more of an effort, and I don't know how. You know, there's a lot of places and a lot of regions all over the world that need a lot of help, but you know, when children are being the victims. When children are the victims, I think that takes it to a whole other level. Really.
2 more minutes.
And the children who are made to be the soldiers too. That whole aspect.
Well, you know, and that's the dilemma. You know, people are fighting against children, and how do you even? I mean, it's hard to comprehend, isn't it? Yeah, it's devastating. But yet these children have so much hope. And I think that's what we need to remember, you know, these children still have a future in front of them, and, you know, with education and intervention and some people like Sam and other great people and organizations that help out in Sudan and other parts of the world, you know, we can turn it around. So, you know, as down and depressing as it is, the statistics tell us, there's a great deal of hope as well.
Can you talk real quickly about what you have coming up? Just tell us about what's next for you.
Yes, I just, I'm very excited about an independent film that I shot this summer with Willem Dafoe and Stephen Dorff. It's called Boot Tracks. David Jacobson wrote, or he didn't write it, he adapted it from a book. But so I'm very excited about that. And then I did another little indie right after that with Rodham Mitchell, kind of a drama / comedy, really well written, first time director once again. And I love indies, and I'm getting ready to shoot another independent film actually called Penthouse North, which is a psychological thriller with Michael Keaton, which I'm very excited about because I've been wanting to do a thriller for quite some time, and this one's really good.
Well, and I'm a hardcore fan of Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Is there any chance we'll ever see a sequel to that?
Oh my gosh, it's so funny. I wish, I don't know, I don't think there's ever been any talk of a sequel, but I know that, listen, we all love that movie so much, all of us included in terms of the actors and Shane and everything, so, yeah, I would welcome that, who wouldn't?